This is Disco. We're here with Dark Souls 3. I'm doing a club run. Now, I did start this on a second channel, technically my first, but that one wasn't working out so well, so I'm just trying this out. Anyway, started out as a deprived, and I've beaten Dark Souls 3 before. I've attempted the DLCs. I think I've beaten all two of them once, and they were pretty good. I liked them. Didn't like the areas so much, but the bosses are cool, from what I recall. It's been a while. And having recorded a few videos already, the club is a surprisingly good weapon. Not sure about PvP, because I don't have PlayStation Plus. That's a personal waste of my time, because I don't like multiplayer anyway. But Dark Souls 3, I'm not using a shield, just the club, and we're gonna beat this game in a loincloth, which is gonna be great. So coming up, we're gonna be fighting the giant crystal lizard. I'll keep the commentary at not at a constant rate. I'll just be talking whenever I feel it is necessary. So, I do like the club. I've never used it in full playthrough, but I do know that it can stun enemies a little bit better than other weapons, like swords, and especially knives, too. So the club has been a pretty good surprise weapon for this playthrough of mine, because every other playthrough I've done of this game, and the other Souls games, I've always gone Dex. I've never really put a lot of effort into strength, just because I never felt it was fast enough. But that was because I've always associated strength builds with, like, you know, heavy armor, big, slow weapons, but the club has been surprisingly good. So coming up is our very first boss. He is called Iudex, at least I think that's how you pronounce his name. I know one of his titles, like Iudex, I think that means judge. So, he's not too difficult. He is the tutorial boss, after all. You can dodge all of his attacks, and you can also parry him if you have a shield. I will say the medium shields are a bit harder to parry with, just because of their iframes. So if you have a medium shield, I just suggest either blocking or dodging his strikes. Alright, Iudex has been defeated. So this will not be a 100% walkthrough of this game. nor will I be following every single NCP side quest that you can get. Like, I won't be recruiting absolutely everyone, only the people that I absolutely need. Like, we're going to be meeting an Onion Knight later on. I will recruit him, because, not recruit, but, you know, I'll follow his quest line if I can, to the best of my ability anyway, because I know he gives you a Titanite Slab, which is your final weapon upgrade, to upgrade your weapon from +9 to a +10, which is the max that you can do in this game. I'll be doing his questline. And then, of course, I will be doing the DLCs. However, although I've beaten the main game quite a few times, I am not so skilled in the DLCs, so lots more deaths there.
Well, you're a toilet. Pretty be careful.
So, going up here, we're going to be doing the, what's called the tree jump. Here I go, words, they're hard. We're going to be doing the tree jump, there we go, where normally you would have to buy a key in order to get to these trading crows, but we're just going to run up this tree, manipulate the character so we can jump up this ledge. But first, we're going to fail at it a few times before we get it right. Now, this may sound weird, but don't look at the ledge. What I find is helpful is that if you look slightly to the left, you know, just stare at the tree the whole time. And then you kind of have to, if you're using a controller, you kind of have to flick the analog stick to the right when you get to the top of the tree. So anyway, we're going to be trading one regular firebomb, I should say, to the crows, so we can get a large Titanite shard, and then later on, we're going to be picking up some black firebombs. You can get those early for your gift, but I never like doing that. Anyway, with the black firebombs, you can trade to get a Titanite chunk, which is kind of like the tier 3 of your upgrade materials, which are used in most regular weapons. There are some weapons that do require you to have like Twinkling Titanite, which is another upgrade material that you can get later on, but it's not as common as the regular Titanite shards.
Ah, another one roused from the sleep of death. Well, you're not alone. We unkindled are worthless. Can't even die right. Gives me conniptions. And they'd have us seek the Lords of Cinder and return them to their moulding thrones. But we are talking true legends with the metal to link the fire. We're not fit to lick their boots. Don't you think? What a sick joke. Asking us to seek the Lords of Cinder and return them to their moulding thrones. We're talking true legends, those who would link the fire. We're not fit to lick their boots.
Did what? Pretty be like that.
Welcome to the bonfire, unkindled one. I am a firekeeper. I tend to the flame and tend to thee. The lords have left their thrones and must be delivered to them. To this end, I am at thy side. Very well. Then touch the darkness within me. Take nourishment from these sovereignless souls. Farewell, Ashen One. May
So coming up really soon, we're going to be fighting a naked guy with a katana, and he gives new players a particularly hard time because in Dark Souls 3, the katana has a slightly newer moveset, plus there's weapon skills you have to take into account too. So a lot of people, myself included, were kind of tripped up by that. But he's not too hard. You can parry his weapon skill, but the timing for it does take a little bit to get used to. When he does it, and you'll hear it, it's going to sound like a whoosh sound. The second you hear the whoosh, or the beginning part of it, he'll kind of lunge forward in this horizontal slice, and the second he lunges, you press the parry button. And it should work. So, here we go. There we go, we got his stuff. So, you heard the whoosh, right? He is capable of parrying you, which is quite scary, but you'll win eventually. Or you can just chuck fire bombs at him, or I don't know. So this is when I discovered that the armor that you get from him, like the cloth, it looks terrible with the loincloth. I don't like it, I hate it. So I decided, fuck it, I'm just gonna take it off. So there's brand new enemies in this area. There's some axe dudes, some spear dudes, and then some shield dudes. Oh, and then there's the Lothric Knights, who are very intimidating, and you can parry them, but their parry timings are kind of hard, because they attack much faster than, say, the Boulder Knights from Dark Souls 1. So there's these new lantern dudes that you do need to be cautious of, because if you let them scream, then they will alert all the other enemies in the area, and they will come rushing at you, so you don't want that to happen. So you do want to be very careful coming up right here, because whether you go up the stairs or down this little street, hallway, whatever, there will be a dragon that will come up and will burn you to death, possibly, depending on how high your health is. So my advice is to run straight for the door, ignore all the enemies, yep, run, open the door, head through, and if you want to grab the goodies, then wait until the dragon just stops roaring, and then get everything. By fire, that's great. First good this video. And we fall down, so then I decide, well, time to fight the mimic. So, with mimics, I didn't show it off here, I don't think, but you can tell a treasure chest will be a mimic if the chain is facing towards you instead of away from you. So I thought about using the Dark Axe or the Deep Battle Axe for just the beginning part, but then I decided, nah, I don't really like the moveset, and I don't really like just the way the weapon looks in general. At this point, I already got too attached to the stick, so I just started to, stick with the good old club. That's a Lothric Knight. I didn't feel like fighting him, although I am used to their movesets by now. I just, there's a chance that they will drop a Titanite shard, but I don't want to farm them for hours and hours just to get a +3 this early. So I just decided, let's just unlock the second bonfire, and then after that, we're going to be getting a few weapons and another Estus shard. So this guy right here, there's this enemy called the Pus of Man, who's going to transform right now. So, you chuck fire bombs at them. All of these weird dark snake things are weak to fire, So fire bombs, pyromancy, a fire infused weapon will do wonders. When you throw a fire bomb at him or strike him with a fire weapon, he'll be stunned like this, so you can actually run up and keep attacking him, or just keep throwing fire bombs at him. So raw gems are really, really good if you're doing a level 1 build, or if you are doing a magic build. So for example, the pyromancy build or class, if you want a melee weapon, get the broadsword and then infuse that with raw, and then you're pretty much set to go in terms of melee combat, because eventually you're going to run out of magic during a boss fight, if you're struggling with it, that is. And the broadsword can come in pretty handy, because even when it's infused with raw, you can still buff it with like a fire resin or lightning. So we just picked up those fire bombs. Later on, I'm going to be going to Snuggly, the crow? Is that what they're called? Anyway, the trading crows back at Firelink Shrine to trade in one of those black fire bombs for a titanite chunk, which can be very useful, especially if you know where you can find some large titanite shards before you reach the middle of the game. So what I like to do right here is to just get the fire bombs out, however many you have, and angle the camera like I am, stand where I am, and then just snipe them when they come over. And try your very best to hit the dog, because dogs are terrible in this game and I hate them. So you can fight that winged knight down there, you know, the one with the huge axe. I think it does have a pretty scary AoE, which is a faith spell, I think, where you see all these beaming lights shining down on you. So it looks kind of scary to a new player. I wouldn't know exactly how much damage that spell thing does, because I never fight this thing. I just avoid it. As long as it's patrolling and it doesn't see you, then you're good. So I just picked up a Ring of Sacrifice. So if you don't know, a Ring of Sacrifice is basically allows you to keep all your souls when you die, but the ring breaks after your death. So you can only use it once. I'm not sure if you can repair it. I don't think you can. I don't think you can purchase it either, at least multiple times. Like, you can't have 99 of these things, otherwise the game would be trivial. And you'd never, like, really lose. Unless you die 99 times. Anyway, we just unlocked the shortcut. This will lead us back to the very first bonfire, and it's also the main shortcut we're going to be using to fight Vort. The dogs in Dark Souls 3 are annoying to say the least, and absolutely horrible at the most. They will literally teleport if your camera is not facing them, but they're still chasing you. So, from what I understand, their AI will actually just warp to you in order to do their attack if your camera isn't, facing them, which is scary and bullshit. And I hate them. And sadly, there's quite a few dogs in this game, including 2 coming up right here. So there's one more pus of man we need to defeat in order to get another Titanite shard. And I was hoping he would drop a dark gem, or not a dark gem, a deep gem, because they do have a very slight chance of dropping that, but he didn't. So these guys will only give you a upgrade material the first time you kill them. Every other time they might give you an ember, but other than that, they won't give you much. Only after the first time you kill them. Okay, so that'll be it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. It was a little bit long. The future videos won't be this long. Anyway, in the next one, we will be fighting Vort of the Boreal Valley.